There's a big issue that we don't care about that I tell you is going to loom large in the election, if only because people like me aren't going to let it go. What is it? Prize Picks, largest independently owned daily fantasy sports platform in North America. Why battle thousands of other players? You got pros in there, sharks. You can just pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you're any good, you watch the winnings roll in. Prize Picks is simple to play. You can make your picks and submit your entry in less than 60 seconds. Prize Picks now offers Apple Pay. Quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. Lower your fugazi factor. Share with your friends. Why? I got to tell you, a lot of my buddies are into the fantasy game. Prize Picks is becoming part of the parlance. Why? They believe it's more of a straight line assessment of how good they are. It's simple and they trust it. Good things to have said about you in a crowded space. So, hear me now, believe me later. Go to prizepicks.com/CCP. Use the code CCP for a first deposit match up to $100. Again, prizepicks.com/CCP. Use code CCP for a first deposit match up to $100. Personal security with information and identity. That's why I love ExpressVPN. This is the product I use to protect my personal information, okay? Why? So you ever wonder how free to access tech giants make all their money? Well, they track your searches, your video history. I talk about this all the time. Greg and I are like talking about something, all of a sudden I get an ad about that subject. They build a profile on us. They then sell off our data. And then they send us these menus about cookies that don't let you read the piece that you want to read until you say that you're going to accept all these things. And if you say you want to go in there and play with your settings, it takes forever. And all the little prompts and icons are so small. It's a game. If you use ExpressVPN, the app on your phone or your computer, the software helps you hide your IP address from third parties. It means just less BS in your life, okay? It makes your activity more difficult for companies to trace. So how about we stop allowing big tech to revoke our rights to free speech by taking it to the bank and revoke their right to our data? How about that? Secure your internet with the VPN I trust for online protection. ExpressVPN.com/CCP, Chris Cuomo Project. That's ExpressVPN, Victor Papa November.com/CCP. And you're going to get 3 extra months free if you use my exclusive link, okay? ExpressVPN.com/CCP. I'm Chris Cuomo. Welcome to another special here for the Chris Cuomo Project. Free agents, critical thinkers, putting the information and perspectives out there, letting you chew on it and decide how it should be digested. That's what being an independent is all about. That is the cure for this poison party system that is a battle of the bottom and always a look at how the other side is worse. Thank you for subscribing and following. Thank you for checking out News Nation, 8p, 11p Eastern, every weekday night. So what is this secret issue? Oh, it's no secret at all. We just don't care. And boy, did I get confirmation of this the other day. What's he talking about? East Palestine. Wrong. East Palestine. Why? Because that's how the folks in Ohio want it. That's why. That's the best answer I can come up with. But let me tell you, this issue is ignored for the wrong reasons, exploited for the wrong reasons, but it matters. It matters as metaphor and as hard-bitten reality for a group of people that are not getting taken care of, that are not being seen, as we say these days. And it's going to be bad for Biden and the Democrats. But there is also opportunity for them to expand the map, expand the messaging to a group of people who have been, for good, but mostly bad reason, convinced that their interests are not shared by the Democratic Party. The same people who used to be Democrats all across the Rust Belt in this country. That's where East Palestine, Ohio is. So how do I know this? Well, one, I know it because I'm in the coverage business of news and I see how it's not been getting attention, never has. Saw the same kind of thing with Flint. until it became a point of fascination for people on the left about how largely black poor people were being underserved, although it's not an all-black community, but it is largely black community in Flint, Michigan. And it then caught fire in the media during a slow news cycle. This time, that didn't really happen. Why? Well, I think there are a lot of reasons for it. This is a ruby red place, not a pet project for Democrats. But the Republicans haven't really put their arms around it either and really pushed the way they could, the way they are for investigating Biden, for example. So I talk about it on the show. The left gets mad because it's bad for Biden. Why? Because I say it's bad for Biden. Because I say that President Biden should visit East Palestine. I know that people around him are going to say, oh, it's going to look like you're giving in. Hey, leaders, do what is hard. You are the president for all Americans, not just the places where they vote for you. You say that all the time. And yeah, East Palestine doesn't vote for you. 75-25. Obama didn't win it, but he was close to 50-50. But it just shows the erosion of inclusion in the Democratic Party of a lot of the Rust Belt and working communities, working class communities. So what do we see here? Well, that's a bad analysis by the people around Biden. Oh, if you go now, you're going to cave. No, if you go now and you go the right way, you just went to Maui. What the hell were you going to do in Maui? What are presidents going to do in any of these disasters? The media wants him to go. Why? It gives us something to cover. But what is the virtue in it? Okay? To the extent there is one, it's just showing that you care. Just showing up. Okay? That means a lot in life and in relationships. And this is a relationship. Oh, yeah, but it's been too long now. Come on. How many times in life have you said to somebody who says, oh, I can't. It's been too long. The beef has been too long. I can't apologize. I can't ever be friends with her or him or it or they or whatever ever again. Sure you can. Sure you can. And this is no different. There's opportunity here to be had as well. But don't just show up at East Palestine. You got to make something happen. And lucky for you, there's low-hanging fruit on this issue. Why? Because we allowed Norfolk Southern, the rail carrier that created the catastrophe, to be in charge of the cleanup and the satisfaction of that cleanup. Crazy. Why would you let them be in the quality control business of their own mess? I don't get it. I don't get it. And we're reaching out to everybody about it. Why? Because it persists. The people there are still telling us stories. The EPA keeps saying that the drinking wells and the aquifers and everything are okay, and then they take a stick and they stick it in the creek and they go like this, and it comes out like a bloom, like they poured gasoline in it. It just doesn't smell right, pun intended, literally and figuratively. But the issue matters. It matters directly because these people should matter. And they are the wrong group of people to use as proof of premise that if you don't have the money and you're not a minority, you're not going to get any love from the Democratic Party. That's the message that it's sending. Well, that's not fair. Hey, maybe not. But that's the message it's sending. And all these Democrats looking for these causes and fighting about this and fighting about that. Why aren't they fighting about this? The senator there, you got J.D. Vance, hillbilly elegy on the right. He's done an op-ed. He's been agitating that Biden should be there. I think his ass should get more in gear also. I think there's opportunity for him. A Senator Sherrod Brown, been quiet on it. By comparison, right? He could be an agent of outrage, a Democrat. Quiet on this. Why? Have the Democrats made some kind of calculus that this is a ruby red place that is just better for them to just leave alone because they're just going to get beat up if they go there because these people don't want them? I don't accept that. And if that is their rationale, it's a bad one. It's a bad one. So I talk about it on the show the other day. Biden should go. This is bad for the Democrats. It's bad for the country. It's proof of the premise that there are people who are just not seen and not cared about. It speaks to this kind of corporate deference of letting the big company, the rail company, kind of get away with terrible shit and literally just smells bad. And there's another thing that matters here. But what also matters is who's paying the bills. Let's give some love to the sponsors. In need, you need Indeed, the hiring platform where you attract, interview, hire all in one place. It's the #1 source of hires in the country. Join more than 3 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed for the exact reasons I'm telling you. Now, if you go to Indeed.com/Chris C and support the show, please, by saying you heard about it here, it really helps me. Indeed.com/Chris C. Terms and conditions apply. If you need to hire, you need, wait for it, Indeed. Cozy Earth, we're supported by them. Love it. Why? I don't like being hot, restless at night, haunted, hunted, but that has nothing to do with the bedding. I'll tell you, It matters what kinds of sheets you're sleeping in. Temperature regulating fabric is a real thing, especially from Cozy Earth, okay? Now, here's the deal for me, all right? I was shocked at how much we were spending on bedding, all right? And for what? Half the time, I don't even sleep with any of it on, right? So, the bedding, not clothes. Don't be dirty, all right? Here's what I know. Cozy Earth is using sustainable materials. They use bamboo, so they're not destroying the environment the way a lot of other textile makers are, and that matters to me, okay? I believe in making ethical choices, and Cozy Earth is one. Now, you can save 40% on Cozy Earth bedding right now. You go to CozyEarth.com, you enter the promo code Chris, all right? And you save 40% right now. Listen to this. They'll let you try it for 100 nights, and if you don't like it, you can send it back for a full refund. Think about that. You literally get like 3 months of free use of their sheets, and you can send them back. CozyEarth.com. The promo code is Chris, but you're not going to want to send them back. So now all these lefties come to beat me like a piñata for saying things that are against the president's interests. I respect it. I don't like parties, okay? But I respect passion. So when it comes, I respect it, as long as it's coming from a place of some type of cogency, some kind of intelligence. I cannot tell you, and you can go look on my Instagram posts for yourself. Please do. Please check out my Instagram and look at a bunch of the comments of people who are mad at me. And what they'll be mad about in the instance of this. Get the right post, otherwise they could be mad at me about anything. Why should he go to Palestine? We got enough problems here at home. You're never going to cure that place, Palestine. Why would he go there? Why would you want him to go to that dangerous place, Palestine? Should be here. We got lots of problems here. Why do we give so much money? One quick note sideways. It's East Palestine, Ohio. It is America, okay? I'm not talking about the Middle East. You don't even know the difference. That's how little you're focused on East Palestine. Second, you guys are being led down a bullshit boulevard when it comes to money for Ukraine and abroad. I know it's real money to you or me or our school districts or something like that. But just Google the percentage of our defense budget that goes to military spending for other countries. Don't come short, though. Why? Because what you're going to find is going to be really good for my point, which is, as a percentage, the money that we give away to foreign countries for their defense, for military, is a fraction. It's a single-digit fraction. Okay, but you got to look at the other agencies too, because there are a lot of different pockets that funnel money abroad. But I'm telling you, by percentage, the idea that, oh boy, if we just spent that money at home, this big problem would go away, it's not true. It's not true. And once again, people who want power or to keep power or to abuse power are getting you to think that, so that you think that whoever they're against is worse and you should put them in or give them more power. But it's not true. And they'll do the same shit when they're in there, when it comes to giving money abroad. They all have their pets. This idea now, oh, we shouldn't be spending so much money in Ukraine. We should be spending it. Please, look at the budgets that the Republicans had under Trump. They spent like crazy at home and abroad. They're just now trying to sound abstemious, so they're trying to sound like they want to be frugal and save your money and not get involved in these other things that are bad. Now, a little of that is that America First isolationist notion that Trump brought back into vogue in the Republican Party. We're not that way in my lifetime. Witness Bush going into the wrong country to deal with 9/11. This is the new them. Okay, that's fine. You're allowed to change. But the idea that Ukraine is somehow a waste of our money, they're fighting a proxy war for us. What do you think would happen if Russia just took Ukraine and then started sniffing at Poland and started to go to other real NATO countries? Real NATO. Countries that are already in NATO. What do you think would happen? What do you think we do? Nothing? Come on. That's what this is about as much as anything else. And I don't mean this in an insensitive way, but it's their country. Let them die. Let them suffer for their own before Americans have to go there and do it for them. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And that's what's happening. What's more important to you, the money or the women and men that we would have bleeding and dying on the ground? To me, it's an easy answer. Okay. Because it's not but for that expense, everything would be okay here. East Palestine, not Palestine. Okay? It matters because we need to take care of communities that can't take care of themselves. This is scary that people are running out of money that they got from Norfolk Southern. They still can't live there. People are still getting sick. There's still reports. There's all this independent testing, and there's not enough government attention, and there's too much stinky politics in the answer for why. The Democrats don't think it's a good issue for them. Yeah, okay. You're in the business of dealing with bad shit, okay? That's why we give you power and resources, is so that you can work on the problems, and this is one. And it checks a lot of boxes of what's wrong in our society right now. Who is going to be a voice for the voiceless? Maui too, sure. But it's really far away. It's a different tax base, and it's going to get a different level of love because everybody wants to go on vacation there, right? Not me, but a lot of people. East Palestine doesn't have any of that shine. Now, this is not going to really matter, but I'm just going to use it just to layer the point. I'm not shaving until Biden goes to East Palestine. Now, here's the good news. I have such a pathetic beard. I am such a poor excuse for an Italian male that you're not going to really notice anyway. But if you do start to see something that's more than a shadow on my face, you'll know why it's there, because it's itchy as hell already. But I just want to find different ways to make this important. And we're going to go, because we got to revisit it. We got to show you what the reality is. And we have to dare to care. And we have to get power to account, and not just when it's to its own advantage. And that's what's happening with East Palestine. And it's going to matter in this election, because it's going to be a cudgel. It's going to be a stick that the right can use on Biden. You don't care. You only care about your places. And he's proven them right. And he doesn't have to. And frankly, he shouldn't. Okay? And to my brothers and sisters on the right, if you care so much, bitch about it more where it matters. Have hearings on this instead of on every kind of foible you can find with your political opponents. Do it on this. Bring resources there. Everybody's too damn quiet about East Palestine, and I don't know why, or at least I don't like why. What do you think? Thank you for giving me a chance, subscribing, following. Be a free agent. Take in the information from different sources, process it for yourself as a critical thinker. Stay independent. Don't be some sheeple. Don't be someone who gets led around by a party. We're not party first. You should be nation first. And if you don't see it that way, you should be you first. Your pocketbook, your family, your household, your community. Think about yourself. Don't think about somebody else's interests. I'll see you on News Nation, 8 and 11 p. Eastern, every weekday night. Be a free agent. Check out the merch. Thank you for subscribing and following. I'll see you next time.